We're going to call the council meeting to order tonight, Tuesday, March 7th. And I'd like for Councilman Tom Howie to please lead us in the flag salute. If you'd please stand.
Please join me in honoring our great flag. Ready? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Tom. Okay, first on our agenda, under ceremonials, is a proclamation for National Nutrition Month for March 2017. I'd like to call up Jake Velasco, Healthy Chino Coordinator, City of Chino, and I'd also like to call up Javier Caparte, Director of Nutrition Services, Chino Valley Unified School District. Javier, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Come up, please. Up here, all the way up in front. Okay, we have a proclamation this evening, and I'll read the whereases. Whereas, on behalf of the citizens of Chino, I am pleased to join the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, Community Services Department, and the Chino Unified School District in an effort to focus attention on the importance of making informed food choices and developing sound eating and physical activity habits. Food is the substance by which life is sustained, and the type, quality, and amount of food that individuals consume each day plays a vital role in their overall health and physical fitness. There is a need for continuing nutrition education and a wide-scale effort to enhance healthy eating practices, and the City of Chino provides nutrition and physical education through Healthy Chino and its Healthy Chino Kids program at SOAR and High Five after-school sites. Whereas the City of Chino offers an environment for the community to grow and harvest fruits and vegetables through the city-operated community garden, the City of Chino supports after-school gardens and discovery workshops, which create an environment for children and adults to learn how to grow fruits and vegetables and the nutritional benefits. The Chino Valley Unified School District participates in the National School Lunch Program that encourages students to eat healthy and complete meals. The choices are a hot entree, milk, fruit, and a vegetable. Now, therefore, I, Eunice M. Ulloa, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim March 2017 as National Nutrition Month in the City of Chino and encourage all citizens to join the campaign and become concerned about their nutrition and the nutrition of others in hopes of achieving optimal health for both today and tomorrow. And this is presented today, March 7th. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure, thank you. Good evening, everybody. As the Director of Nutrition Services for Chino Valley Unified School District, I am here to vow that we will continue to provide healthy meals, healthy choices to every student attending our school district by providing fresh fruits and a variety of fresh fruits and vegetables each day for breakfast and for lunch.
Hello, everyone. I want to thank you, Mayor, and members of the Council for this recognition of National Nutrition Month. And Healthy Chino recognizes the importance of educating our community on the importance of nutrition. We're able to do this with our new beautiful community garden, where we offer a variety of free workshops about healthy recipes and about taking home nutritional facts to their families. We are also committed to our youth by providing free discovery workshops and our Healthy Chino Kids supporting our after-school sites and their gardens, and as well as providing physical education programming to their after-school sites.
Thank you, Jake and Javier, and thank you very much for being here this evening. Nutrition is very important. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. Next is our Mayor's Home Beautification Award for March, and the winner this month is Justine and Dan Cunningham. They live at 11836 Telephone. Justine and Dan, would you please come forward? Thanks for being here this evening. And I think they'll show on the screen the beautiful picture of their home. Drought-tolerant landscaping, I'll have you know. Here's a picture of your beautiful home. We also have a certificate of appreciation, the Mayor's Home Beautification Award to Dan and Justine Cunningham. Thank you for your continued improvement and maintenance of your home, resulting in a substantial contribution to the overall appearance of the community. All kinds of goodies. And then we also have a certificate from Supervisor Kurt Hagman for you in recognition of your beautiful home. We have 2 lapel pins for you. We have all kinds of goodies. And we have 2 pins for you. And then the best thing ever is, ta-da, the sign to put up in front of your home to tell all of your neighbors that you won the Home Beautification Award for March. Now, who does all the work?
I contracted it out.
You. Who supervises the work?
It was a joint effort.
Okay. Would you like to say anything else? No. Okay, well, thank you. That's it. Thank you so much for all of your efforts. You really always, it helps our whole community when you upgrade your landscaping, and you've set a great example for drought tolerant. Your name also will be put in the next mayor's, let me start this over again. Once a year, we choose the winner out of the 12 months, and then you'll be invited to the State of the City if you're the winner of the 12-month period to attend our State of the City address. Okay. So your name will go in the pot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you very much for being here this evening. Okay, now we have a very, very special recognition. Jimmy Gutierrez, would you please come down and join me? And I'd like to invite Jimmy's family up.
And Violet and Lisa, come on up too.
All of your family.
Violet, Lisa, come on up. Their family.
Okay. Their family too, right?
Yeah, they're my staff.
Okay.
All girls. I only hire
You
secretaries.
only hire tall secretaries, right? Mona's short, so let's see.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, tonight we're going to be wishing a very happy retirement to our longtime city attorney, Jimmy Gutierrez. A graduate of UCLA Law School, Jimmy started his career for the city as an assistant city attorney under Bill McVitie. However, upon Bill's election to the California Assembly, Jimmy filled the role as Chino's city attorney at age of 27. Since that time, Jimmy has provided 42 years of quality service to the community, city council, and staff. Throughout his tenure, Jimmy has countlessly guided the city through complex legal battles that often led to beneficial outcomes for the city of Chino. As a city, we are very fortunate to have him serve us in this capacity, and as he reaches the end of his career, we would like to wish him a happy retirement and thank him for his dedication to the Chino community. And with that, Jimmy, I would like to present you with one of our very treasured city tiles that you can hang in your office at home. We also have a number of people here that wish to present something to Jimmy, but before we do that, I would like Jimmy to introduce his family. And that's all you get to do right now.
Thank you, Mayor.
He's an attorney and he talks.
Thank you, Mayor. Always do what the mayor says. Well, to my left is my wife, Ramona. To her left is my daughter, Monica. To her left is my son-in-law, Robert. To his left is Violet Tepete and Lisa Ruggiero, my 2 great secretaries, and it's true, I only hire tall secretaries.
Okay, I think we have a rep here from Congressman Norma Torres's office. Yes. Fine. Would you like to come up here?
Oh, yes.
Here, stand next to
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, Council, staff, and audience today. Mr. Gutierrez, I'm sure you've been waiting for this day for a long time, and I've already heard your first vacation that's scheduled, so I hope that you enjoy it. It's very well deserved. On behalf of Congresswoman Norma Torres, we'd like to present you a congressional recognition that states in recognition of your retirement from the City of Chino and your consistent and proven expertise in multiple fields of municipal law. Your guidance and service to the community is truly appreciated. Thank you for your commitment and dedication for the 42 years of your invaluable service to our community, which is dated today, March 7, 2017. Thank you so much for all of your work. It's greatly appreciated.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Congresswoman.
I certainly will. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have Senator Connie Leyva. Connie? Oh, Connie's representative. I thought she was actually here. Okay.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for this recognition for our city attorney, Jimmy Gutierrez. I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Gutierrez when I used to work for Congressman Joe Baca. And, is he? Oh, hi. Cool. So awesome. So now I'm with State Senator Leyva, and just wanted to wish you a very happy retirement. And I know you had mentioned an interest in going to Oaxaca, because my sister travels there, and hopefully you'll have an opportunity to do that, and I can give you a lot more tips on that. So best wishes on your retirement.
Thank the senator for us. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have a representative, Melissa, from Supervisor Hegman's office.
Well, good evening, Mr. Gutierrez. What we have here is a lovely resolution that has been made for you and for all of your service here to the city of Chino, and it's rather lengthy. So I think I will just read the last two. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of San Bernardino, State of California, does hereby commend City Attorney Jimmy Gutierrez upon his retirement from the city of Chino. Be it further resolved that this resolution be noted in the minutes of the board and that a copy be presented to City Attorney Jimmy Gutierrez. Signed, Robert Lovingood for the chairman of the board and Supervisor Kurt Hagman, the vice chairman. Thank you for your years of service, and I think with all these vacation well wishes, you're going to have a good time. Thank you.
Okay, and then a representative from Chino Valley Fire District.
Jimmy, congratulations on your retirement. We have a beautiful plaque that we would like to present you with, and it reads, Jimmy Gutierrez, City Attorney, City of Chino. The Chino Valley Fire District wishes to recognize and thank you for 42 years of dedicated service to the City of Chino. Your commitment and professionalism to the citizens of the Chino Valley is commendable. We wish you the very best on your retirement. And yes. So I also have Director Ed Gray here, and I have Fire Chief Tim Shackelford. We all wanted to, on behalf of the Board of Directors and the Fire District, wanted to wish you well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, then the Chino Valley School District.
Well, our community is very special and unique. We have individuals who go to school here and then turn around and have a business and serve our community, as is evident by Jimmy Gutierrez. And we just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you for the 42 years that you've served. And you served at the district as well, but the community. And so on behalf of the school board and the Chino Valley Unified School District, we'd like to say thank you for your service.
2 decades we've known one another, Mr. Gutierrez, and I like the fact that we can just about see eye to eye. Okay.
Short-
Congratulations.
short jokes.
Congratulations. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Wayne. That's cute. All these short people. Okay, those are all the agencies that I've been told are here to present something to Mr. Gutierrez. Is there anyone else? We do have a former congressman in the audience, Mr. Joe Baca. Joe, did you want to come up and say anything to Jimmy?
Well, thank you very much, Mayor. On behalf of the golfers that are out here, brought some of the golfers that play here. Joe Ayala, who's on the Rialto Unified School District board, and then we have Daryl Weatherby in the back. We have in the back Brad, and then of course our good friend in the back. I just drew a blank right now. Rudy R. Jackson. But you know, it's an honor for us to be here. We've known Jimmy, or I've known Jimmy, for over, well, the 42 years that he's been on the council. I probably have known him most of the time that he's been out here. But not only has he distinguished himself in serving as a city attorney for the city of Chino, but he's also worked with many individuals. And I think those individuals who have gone on to public office, and I'll name some of them because they were important for the city of Chino. Earlier we had Supervisor Controller Larry Walker that was here. Fred Galante, who served here and went on into the State Assembly. And then, of course, one lone individual that you see every name named after him around here, and that's Senator Ayala. So Jimmy has actually had an opportunity not only to work with all of you, and then Earl and I had an opportunity, along with Jimmy, when we were in Washington, D.C., and we were with President Bill Clinton at one of the ceremonies. We won't tell you what it was. But it was an honor for all of us. Jimmy, and it's an honor for me to be here on this day, and for your family as well, that you not only serve the city, but you'll have an opportunity to enjoy them. And I know that I have a little token I'd like to present to you. It's a congressional pin. It's one that you can use when you go play golf as a marker. So we hope that Jimmy will join us to play golf the times of his retirement. But again, we want to say congratulations in behalf of all of us. You've done a great job in serving the city of Chino. Congratulations to you and the family. And thank you very much.
Okay. Before I call the council down for a group photo, would you like to say a few words, Jimmy? Now he's an attorney, so remember, look at the time.
So let me just say a couple of words, really. First of all, thank you to this council and prior councils for placing your trust in me. Thank you so much to all the residents of the city of Chino who help us every day and who support us every day and for whom we serve. I think the idea of public service is very explicit here this evening in the council, because so many people in the audience and on the dais behind us, including former Congressman Baca and Joe Ayala on the school board, Silva Roscoe on the school board, all of those of you who serve for one reason, and that is to give back to the community and make it better. And I think that's a theme that unifies us all, and we've certainly seen it in practice. And I expect that the city will continue to thrive as it always has. It's one of the premier cities in California, if not in the nation, and it's been an honor to serve you all. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You don't want to say anything? Okay. Jimmy, thank you again for your service. Now, he isn't totally leaving us. He's still representing us on Watermaster because it takes a lot to understand Watermaster, and Jimmy has a history. He's been very successful supporting us against things in the Watermaster, making sure that our interests are served, and so he's going to continue in that capacity because it would be very, very difficult to bring somebody up to speed on an item that's so difficult. So he's retiring from city attorney, but he's still going to be serving the citizens of Chino. So Jimmy, thank you very much for all your years of service.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sweetie. Thank you for coming, too. For sure. You're going to miss him, huh? Oh. Thank you, guys. All right, thank you very much. Oh, now we have to do a group photo. Come on down.
He's crying because you're going to be home.
Okay, so now that goes back up, right? Okay. Okay, that's, I guess, just the dais.
This is good.
Okay.
This is all good. We have the movie. We're missing Glenn, though. That's too
Yeah,
bad.
we're missing Glenn. Have to read. Okay?
I'm going to miss you all, especially on a trip to San Francisco and on a trip to Europe. And I'll really be thinking
Oh,
about
yeah,
you.
right.
But I'll yeah, right. I'll tell you where all the hot spots are, though, right?
Okay, now get back up there and
I'll
go to
get
work.
back up there. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's give Jimmy one more hand. Okay, next on the agenda is public communication. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the council on items that are not on the agenda. We cannot take action on anything that's not agendized, but we can hear your concerns. Oh, I just remembered something. We traditionally do something here at the council, and that is to have every student in the audience come up to the lectern and introduce themselves, tell what school they're from and who their teacher is, what the subject is. Now, these kids are required to come to a council meeting in order to get credit. So let's get them up here now and have them introduce themselves before we go into public communication. Come on. Being on TV proves to your teacher that you're here.
Slow night tonight.
Yeah, slow night. Right there.
My name's Luis Marino. I'm here from Don Antonio Lugo High School, and I come from Mr. Kim's government class.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Wendy Ariano. I come from Don Lugo. I'm here for my econ class for Mr. High Street.
My name is Mal Mendoza. I'm also from Don Lugo, Mr. Kim's government class, and also for Boy Scouts for my citizenship in the community merit badge. So.
Oh, great.
I'm Benjamin Murillo. I'm here from Don Lugo, and I'm here for my econ class. My teacher is Mr. High Street.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Juan Pacheco. I attend Don Antonio Lugo High School, and I'm here for my economics class, and my teacher is Mr. High Street.
Hi, I'm Brandon Segura. I'm from Don Lugo, and I'm here for my econ class, Mr. High Street.
Hello, I'm a bit older student, but my name is Cherie Fowler, and this is
Lucy Valencia.
Lucy Valencia. We come from Azusa Pacific University in our master's program for social work. Our professor is Jill Shook, and we are here to address the concerns of homelessness in the Chino community.
Well, thank you for being here this evening. Okay, now we have, like I said, this is the time and the place for the general public to address the council. Our first request is I will call up Pastor Adolfo Pacheco from Clearview Church. He's going to provide us with an invocation. So at this time, I'd like to invite any of you that wish to join us to please stand.
Well, members, I always love coming to these meetings because I get new jokes. I find places to go to, and I get to meet a lot of new people, so I'm so excited to be here. If you please join me in prayer. Father, we thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to serve, Lord. We thank you that we're here, one with another, Father God, in agreement and in unity, Lord, to do great things, Father. Not just a thing, but a great thing, Lord. I pray, Lord, that there'd be such a peace, Father, and a peace with agreement, and Father, to establish the things that are good for our city, Father, and for those who come around towards our city, Father. I thank you, Lord, that you've blessed this place abundantly more than we can imagine or hope for. But, Father, we dream big dreams, Lord. And so we ask that you release unto us those things that we purpose in our heart to do better this year and this season, Lord. And Father, for Mr. Gutierrez, Father, for his time of service, Lord, I pray that you would bless him abundantly more than he can imagine or hope for. I pray that you would restore unto him that which was poured out, Lord. And for to the degree that he's poured out in service, I pray that you pour back into him those blessings for him and his whole household, Lord. Let him be an example to those who are younger like myself, Lord, that there is great privilege and there's a blessing in serving our community, Lord. So, Father, I pray there would be great things accomplished today. Father, let us walk in wisdom and understanding. Bless all the members here, Father, and their families and their households. And, Father, according to your word, I bless everyone here, Father, that, Father God, the city of Chino would continue to be remembered of the place where blessings grow, and all those who come around shall be blessed as well, Lord. We thank you for this time. In Jesus' name, and everyone said, amen.
Thank you, Pastor. Okay, first written request to speak is Richard. Whoever Richard is.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, Richard.
So the concern, to draw a picture, it's pretty much the permit to connect to the city sewer line. We applied for the permit to connect, and we were denied. We were given a do not serve letter, and we're told we would need a permit to annex into the city first.
Richard, can you tell us where you live?
Chino on Pipeline Avenue, 13118.
Okay. As I mentioned, we can't take any action this evening, but that is an item that the council did hear, and what we require is that you annex into the city before we provide sewer service.
Right. At this point, we tried starting the process for that, but it seems like we're at a standstill because in order to get the okay to connect into the sewer line, we need to get that permit, like you said, but we're not allowed to get the permit. We get a denial letter for it. In fact, we're not even able to apply. I've been working with Jesus Plasencia, who's here today, and we really don't know what other channel we can go through in order to get that permit to annex. We're basically in the city sphere of influence.
Right.
And
you have to annex through LAFCO.
Right, and we've attempted to do that, but the permit in order to get that comes from the city, and we get the denial letter for do not serve, so it kind of sends us back to LAFCO saying to go to the city denying us, and then we go back to LAFCO.
Matt?
Guevara. Yes, that's perfect.
They put in a request to staff to have a sewer connection. They're making a request for an irrevocable agreement, but the council just in past history has not been approving those because they want those individuals to annex within the city.
Right.
But they have an application that they've submitted. We plan on scheduling that for a future meeting. But we've explained the history and the scenario. Essentially, you have to annex within the city in order to receive that sewer connection.
Right.
But we'll have a hearing item. We're not, because it's not agendized, we're unable to actually take any action this evening.
But
it
why
will be on a future agenda.
I don't understand why he would get, are you being rejected by LAFCO?
We're getting rejected. We're not even able to apply with LAFCO until we get an approval from the city, and the city gave us a do not serve. So LAFCO sends us back to the city.
Okay, hopefully staff can help you through that, because that doesn't make a whole
And it
lot of
seems
sense.
like I went around and spoke to a few of our neighbors, and it seems like there's 5 houses on the same street that we're on that are having the same issue, that they kind of get sent back. They start off with LAFCO, and they get sent to the city, and then the city either tells them it's not going to get approved, or they get a denial letter, and then they kind of have that loop.
We'll have staff look into it, because that doesn't make any sense. I know that there is a developer working in that area that is hoping to annex and hook up sewers, but that's a separate case from that.
Right, it's right parallel
separate,
across the street. Yeah, there's like 45, I think, housing projects.
Well, we'll have staff walk you through that.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds great.
It's better if you get your neighbors to sign up too. It's a bigger block area.
Right, they weren't willing to sign up into anything, but they did provide their address, and they said we could mention these addresses at the meeting, and they're willing to, if they're asked, to agree to whatever it is I say here.
Yeah, okay. But you still have to go through LAFCO first before we give the permit.
Right, LAFCO sends me back to the city, though.
I understand.
I've
We'll have-
spoken, right, so
Just to be
we're trying
clear,
to clarify what's going on with
There's
LAFCO.
two options.
Right.
Either the city would issue an irrevocable agreement, that means at some point in time, you would annex within the city. What has happened is the council we've experienced, we've issued several of these irrevocable agreements, but nobody annexed within the city.
They told us that
So
we could do that, but they took that option off the table because of what you're mentioning now, that they don't annex. So they said that
Well,
that's
let's
not
do
an
this.
option at all.
Staff will have a discussion
Mhm.
about this, and we'll clarify that, but that will come back before the council, and the council will take action, we'll agendize it, and the
Right,
council
on
will
the
take action on
21st.
it.
Right.
Correct.
Okay, sounds great.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
Next is Jamie Harwood.
Good evening, everybody. I came here tonight to say thank you, and thank you again to the city staff, to Mayor Eunice Uloa, for the great turnout and the great event we had on Saturday, the Derriere 5K for the Chino Youth Museum. Eunice, thank you again for being there. Really means a lot to us to have you there as the face of the city. To city staff, Linda Reich and your community services staff did an outstanding job for us. They always do. It's so nice for me to know that I have a lot of folks who will do a lot of work to make sure this event goes off without a hitch. To Chief Comstock and the police explorers were out there ready to go, and we had a couple of small little incidents that they were just Johnny on the spot, lickety split, just fixing stuff up, and always respectful. Your explorer group, so I really appreciate that. Park looked great, Jose, your group. I was a little bummed that the blossoms had fallen off the trees. Now, maybe next year.
Oh, my God.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, well.
But, I mean, week before, white blossoms, it was awesome. But Park looked great. I want everything. Okay, I'm just saying, next year we want those blossoms there. Park looked awesome. We had 410 entrants. We had 375 people finish, or start at least. Luckily, as far as I know, not a complaint. Everybody gets pretty happy when they get some cold chocolate milk at the end of an event. Everybody's smiling. We had little kids dressed as cows. It was just great. So thanks again for a very successful event, and we'll be back next year.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jamie. And next, Christy Bradley.
Good evening, Council. Last night I attended the Planning Commission meeting with the rest of my neighbors, and I had a few concerns that I wanted to address, and hopefully 2 weeks when it comes before you, you'll be able to make a good decision for our neighborhood. The questions I have is on Measure M, and it was passed in November of 1988. My question is, I guess I want more explanation. It says that the maximum density, that's what it is talking about. And so my question is, when this builder comes to build in our area and it says maximum density, that's what the general plan says for our city, how can the planner come in, or the builder come in and ask to change that zoning to put more houses there when it says it's already maxed out? So I guess I want that question answered. And then, and it says in Resolution 8840, not to exceed that amount. So again, putting more houses than what the general plan has already. So I guess I'm kind of wondering how Measure M works and how it affects our general plan. If our general plan says maximum and it's exceeded, how can he come in and add 180 homes when we are looking at 32 that are supposed to be there for that area? And I mean, I realize things grow and time has changed, but I don't think that anything has changed infrastructure-wise since 1988 in my area. I've been there for 20 years, and my concern is that it's going to be overbuilt and it's going to look cookie-cutter-ish. And you guys probably got my email that it kind of went through a little more detail of my concerns, because I'm 8 houses down from this, and I don't have an acre lot. I have a normal standard house, and I'm worried that it's going to affect our equity. I know it's going to affect the traffic, like everybody had said last night. My kids go to the church that is across the way, Christ Lutheran Church, and I won't let them walk to church because there's not a 4-way stop there, and the cars just zoom, and then there's the dips over there. And we still have horses that walk down the street, and we enjoy that. And now you're going to put all these cars and all these houses, and most of the car ports that are planned in this guy's plan are coming out on Vernon, and I'm on a half cul-de-sac, so I only have one way to come out of my house, and it's onto Vernon. So I do have some concerns. I want to make a request. If the council and the city planning department can come out and drive around our area and see what the people that were here last night were talking about, because I think you don't get a very good idea when people are just talking and saying, I have horses and I have dust and I have geese and whatever, you know. But if you go out to the area and actually look, you'll understand what we're talking about a little bit better and how it needs to stay 1-acre lots. It just makes sense for that area. And the other thing I wanted to address is if this goes through, if you guys all decide that Measure M goes through and it goes to the ballot, us as a community of, you know, neighbors, we're going to have to petition or go out and lobby, I guess, to get people to help us, you know, say no to Measure M. I don't understand how, if it's yes, what are we to do as all the neighbors?
Okay, well, I think, I believe that you do have a copy of Measure M.
Yes.
Maybe staff can explain the issue about density, and Jimmy, you were here when Measure M was passed. Maybe you can add some explanation.
Christy,
you ask good questions. Let me start off by saying that the density that you enjoy now, low density, is because of Measure M. The history of Measure M was that back in the 1980s, the city council, and Mayor Ulloa was on that council at that time. In the 1980s, the council realized that certain things were happening in the community which were not favorable. One was that they were getting a lot of police activity calls for services at high-density locations, apartment houses and things of that sort. And what the council decided to do was to study what the city would look like based upon the then zoning. And they realized that there would be much more multiple family housing in the city, and that there wasn't enough residential housing of a single family basis. So what they decided to do was to actually downzone properties so that properties that had higher densities came down, and in order to create less density. That was a background to Measure M, and so the council rezoned the entire city in that direction, and the zoning where you live reflects that decision. The next thing they did was they asked the voters of the city of Chino if they wanted to have the power to increase those densities or to leave the power with the city council. The council put that measure on the ballot. It was called Measure M, and the voters accepted that invitation to take the power. So the power to upzone the property resides with the residents, not with the city council. And what it means is that current density can't be increased, and it means that a property that is not residential cannot become residential property. If it's zoned industrial or commercial, it can't be transferred to residential, and if it's a certain density, it can't be increased unless the people vote for it. So what's going on now, and I was at the Planning Commission last night, as you recall, there's a proposal to have a 30-acre parcel of property have increased density. That went to the Planning Commission because the Planning Commission had to see it. It's going to come to the City Council. And the City Council doesn't have the authority to increase the density. So what the City Council has done in the past is put that question before the voters, provided the developer pays the cost of the election. And then it will be for the people to decide whether they want to change the density from what it is now. So that's the history, and that's the process, and this is a procedure that we've followed since 1988. I think there's been about 13, 14, or 15 elections. So it has served its purpose in not increasing densities with those exceptions. And so that's the history of what you see now. It's not with the council, it's with the voters of the community. So it's up to them to decide whether or not they want to increase the density.
Jimmy, actually, you've omitted one part, and that is there's two ways to get it on the ballot. The developer who wants to increase the density, there's a requirement or an option to get signatures on a petition to have the item put on the ballot. The City Council is not under obligation to put it on the ballot. The City Council can direct the developer that if he wants to, then he gets the signatures.
Yeah. Well, actually, you're correct on that, because the election code says there's two ways to put a measure on the ballot. One is a proponent can collect signatures. If they collect 10 to 15% of the registered voters as signatures, they can put the measure on the ballot. The other way is that the council can just do it. And Measure M is silent on that issue. It doesn't really speak to that procedure, but since Measure M is implemented, in every case, the council has put the measure on the ballot.
Okay, so if it goes to the ballot, then our neighborhood, because it only went out 300 feet, the notice. So now you're talking all of Chino is going to vote on this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This little teeny area. And some people won't vote, obviously, and that's what they're probably hoping for. And some people will vote, but not knowing exactly what they're voting for, because I obviously didn't know what the whole language was of Measure M. And I've gone back and I've looked at the minutes from 1988, and all of them say the reason they put Measure M on there was because they didn't want the increase in the population in that area. So now it's going to go forward, and if everybody votes yes and it goes on the ballot, then my neighborhood is going to have this huge 180 homes and condos and all mashed into this little area.
Yeah, let me say that the benefit that you're enjoying is a benefit that exists citywide, and it's just the nature of that proposal because it's worked very well. As a matter of fact, I need to say that College Park would never have come about if it wasn't for Measure M, because we were able to negotiate with the state of California to give the city 140 acres for Ayala Park and to give Chaffey College 100 acres for the college in exchange to put the measure on the ballot, because since that land was not residential, it could not become residential unless the voters voted for it. But the voters voted for it, and part of the consideration was that the voters got 140 acres as a park and 100 acres for the college. So that wasn't the intention when we adopted it in 1988, but that was the effect. Right. And in your situation, because any property owner can make a request to change the zoning, and if it affects an increase in residential density, then the only way to do it is present it to the people. The council doesn't have that authority. The people have claimed that authority for themselves.
But they have the authority to say if they want to put it on the ballot. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so, sorry everyone. So the only thing our neighbors can do at this point is flood your emails with concerns for the area and then show up again like we did last night.
Well, you can come forward and speak to the council.
I mean, at this point, that's all we can do, is what I'm asking.
Well, this item, when is it scheduled to come to the council?
It's the first meeting
April 4th.
And can I make a request? It was packed, and I was outside, and there was a lot of seniors that were outside, and there wasn't chairs set up, and they couldn't stand that long. And I think we were here for 2 hours, and we couldn't hear on this mic outside, so I don't know if you can set up speakers so that everyone can hear. I mean, some of us were standing on our tiptoes trying to lean in, hearing what everybody was saying, because everyone's concerned about this zoning.
The city manager, Ballantyne, called me today about the situation with not enough room, and we discussed that a bit. We may hold that meeting at the senior center, which would provide more room, parking, and, you know, an atmosphere where people can hear.
Okay, and so, like I requested earlier, if you guys can go out, like as a group, and just go through the area so you can get a better idea, because I understand Measure M now, and I understand, you know, all the houses in the preserve, and that was great because it was an open field and nothing was there, but this neighborhood's already established, and now what they want to put in there doesn't make sense, and I just want you guys to get a better idea before you vote to put it on the ballot.
The preserve actually was annexed into the city after Measure M, and so Measure M does not apply to the preserve, but there is a master plan over the preserve that pre-decides what everything is going to be in there. So there's already a master plan, and that was the same as East Chino. East Chino had a master plan on it as well and was exempt from Measure M. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, those are all the written requests to speak. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to address the council? Yes.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. Jason Zara, Chino Valley Chamber. I just wanted to very briefly say that I'm very excited. Thursday Salute to Public Safety is sold out. We are overbooked, and I am very, very grateful to Ariana here for her assistance on the committee and planning and walking me through my first time for what's going to be a great event with a lot of history. So Thursday's going to be very exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the consent calendar. Do any council members wish to have anything pulled? Then a motion would be appropriate. Okay, there's a motion from Councilman Councilman Howie, second by Councilman Elrod, and the item passes 4 yes, 1 absent. Okay, next item on the agenda is under new business, agreement for city attorney services. This is the approval of an agreement with the law firm of Alashir and Winder, LLP, Irvine, California, for an amount not to exceed $100,000, designating Fred Galante as the city attorney for the city of Chino. And the report this evening will be provided by the City Attorney Review Subcommittee, which is myself and Councilman Elrod. Earl, would you like to give the report?
No.
No. Jeez, okay.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. Okay. Mr.
Well, we interviewed 3 firms, and all of us did, and we went to the one we liked the best, and he had some very good recommendations, and we all felt that he would be someone that could work with us, all of us. So that's what we came up to.
Okay. Mr. Ballantyne, would you like to add anything?
No, that pretty much covers it. We received, actually, when Jimmy announced his retirement back in, geez, you wanted to retire sooner, and the mayor then said, no, you got to wait till after I retire. So anyway, I appreciate Jimmy hanging in there with us, but when he finally decided to retire, we issued a request for proposals from law firms, and we received 14 in total. I appreciate all of the law firms that submitted proposals. Staff and the subcommittee kind of ranked those proposals, and then the council met in closed session, narrowed it down to the top 3 and wanted to interview those 3. They conducted interviews, and Fred Galante and his firm came out the winners. So Fred's in the audience. Fred, do you mind please standing?
Fred, would you please come up to the lectern so people can see who you are? It's like a target.
So what's before the council this evening is the approval of that contract and for Fred to serve as our city attorney.
Okay, then it would be appropriate for a motion in a second, and then we'll have Fred talk if he's selected. Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Howie, second by Councilman George, and the item passes 4 yes. Fred, would you like to say anything?
Absolutely. Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the council. I am truly honored by this appointment. I recognize, after all the accolades, Mr. Gutierrez, who I know to be an outstanding lawyer and a very fine gentleman. I have really big shoes to fill, so I am absolutely humbled by all the accomplishments and the amazing accolades he received, and I greatly look forward to working with all of you and your staff, and I've heard very positive things about the way the city conducts itself, so I'm very excited. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is mayor and council reports. Okay, prior to discussing item number 8, I'd like to remind everyone to come out to Chino Cultural Palooza this Saturday, March 11th from 10 to 3 right here on City Hall lawn. This is a fun and educational event that celebrates Chino's rich culture by allowing all participants to enjoy a diverse range of entertainment, food, and shopping. For more information, please call 909-334-3258. And let's see, lastly, I'd like to give an early reminder of some of the great events in store for the month of April, including Healthy Family Day, which is April 1st at 9 a.m., Corn Feed Run Car Show and Cruise, April 8th at 8 a.m., 9th Annual Earth Day Celebration at IEUA, April 20th at 4 p.m., and Art Uncorked event, April 27th at 5:30. Be sure to tune in to our next council meeting or visit www.cityofchino.org for more information on all of these events. Okay, since the last council meeting, on Wednesday, March 1st, I attended the Omnitrans Board of Directors, San Bernardino County Transportation Authority, and the City Select Committee. Ooh, fun. I also attended Howard Cattle School and read to Mrs. Garrison's third grade class. That is always a really fun thing to do, and I encourage all of you, if you get the opportunity, to do that. Those kids are delightful. Then on March 2nd, and I think staff's going to put up a picture, the plaque dedication at Ayala Park for Senator Ruben S. Ayala was held for his family. It was very, very well attended. Representatives from city staff, the police department, the fire department, and family from Mr. Ayala and his friends were in attendance. His son, Buddy Ayala, and his family actually traveled here from Oregon to be there for the dedication. The idea of the plaque to honor the senator came from Robert Sanchez, who, from what I understand, served in the Marine Corps with Ruben. Robert shared his idea with Councilman Duncan, and Glenn took it from there. I want to thank our own Mike Colling for all of his efforts. He worked tirelessly to have this beautiful plaque created, and our other staff members as well for putting on such a nice event. On the screen, you'll see the actual plaque that was installed at the snack building at Ayala Park. The photo that they selected was just amazing. That's Ruben, and he accomplished so much in his life. So it was a very, very nice event, very, very well done. The plaque is beautiful, and it's a fitting tribute to a wonderful man. On Saturday, March 3rd, that was a particularly busy day. The Chino Youth Museum's annual Derriere 5K run at Ayala Park, which you heard spoken about. That was a lot of fun, and the costumes were delightful. Chino National Little League opening day. I didn't make it to the opening ceremony, though, because of the length of the Derriere run and the presentation of the awards. Next, I went to the Seroptimus Stepping Up event, which was held at Chino Hills High this year. That was for girls ages 11 and 12 and their parents. There were about 220 girls there with at least one parent per child in attendance. Due to space limitations, they had to turn away about 5 families, which was really sad. Various speakers covered subjects like cyber stalking, bullying, and inspirational talks about self-confidence, self-esteem, and striving for your dreams. I was only able to be there for a few short hours, and then I had another function that I had to go to. But that was the first time I'd actually been able to attend the event. I just wish that it could be offered to every girl in our whole entire area that's 11 or 12 years old and getting ready to go into, you know, the higher grades. It was a fabulous event. And I'm hoping that Chief Comstock will cover a little bit more of the event because she belongs to Sir Optimist, and she was also the main MC. And then following that, I went to American Little League, and I made it in time for the opening ceremonies there, which was really nice. So it was a very full day. Okay, next on the agenda is item number 8, which we'll cover before I go to the rest of the council members' reports. Now, item number 8, I had requested that it be put on the agenda for discussion because of the development activity that's going on within our city and within the sphere of influence. And I know all of us on the council have been witnesses to that, and we've also heard from the public. So I requested that staff prepare and distribute information to the council members about the ballot measure, which is you've heard referred to as Measure M, which was approved in 1988 with the intent of protecting against density increases without a vote of the people. In the history of the various subsequent ballot measures that went before the public to increase density. So we received 2 reports from staff with that information. They also sent us some very interesting information regarding general plan amendments from 1988 through now. It does not, however, cover several projects that are in the proposal process to increase density within the city and within our sphere of influence, which is still in the county. The preserve in, I wrote all this down so I wouldn't forget it. The preserve in southeast Chino is approximately 1/3 developed. The preserve is a master plan community, so we know what it will look like upon build out. They are experiencing growing pains, which happens with all development, but there is a plan to have everything in place as growth takes place. Other areas in the city and within our sphere of influence, however, are not covered by a master plan, are instead guided by the general plan, which, by the way, was designed to be our guiding document for the eventual maturity of our entire community. Measure M was enacted in 1988 to ensure that the general plan was adhered to, so that all of us, residents and newcomers alike, would be certain of our neighborhood and know what was planned for any undeveloped area. History, however, has proven likewise. Pocket developments with increased density has caused unexpected consequences like mid-block signals, increased traffic, busing of children outside their neighborhood schools, and uncertainty regarding changing neighborhoods that can lead to incompatibility. As we're all aware of, there are several projects in the wings within our city and our sphere of influence that are not in compliance with our general plan, and I believe that we, the City Council, need to address this trend. So I'm suggesting that we convene a study session to begin to address the potential development that will have an impact on our established community. I'm requesting that my fellow council members review the information that was provided to us by staff and advise staff if there is any other information pertaining to our general plan that they would like to have prior to a study session. Then I'd like to request staff to coordinate a date and time that would be convenient to hold our first study session. Our general plan review was done many years ago. Things have changed. Our community has changed and evolved. Our shopping has migrated. It started below the freeway, actually, with our very first shopping center, and then migrated above the freeway, and then moved out to southwest Chino. Neighborhoods have evolved from young families to older families. Our established neighborhoods now, many of them don't have children. New areas have a lot of young families, crowded parking conditions. Just things are changing, and I believe it is time now that our council take control and sit down and look at our general plan, look at these areas that are not built yet, and come up with something that's going to work for our entire community. Infill projects that are not in compliance with the general plan do have consequences. And we are getting an increased number of concerns regarding those unintended consequences, and I think it's time that our council sit down and take this seriously and take back control and represent you as voters instead of just kind of throwing it on the ballot. We know that special elections do not garner a lot of voters. They just don't. They're busy working, taking care of their kids, paying the bills, and doing that sort of stuff. People don't understand what zoning means. They don't understand the repercussions of zoning or what the density numbers mean. We have a new development that's going in on Central above the freeway, right above the Avocado House. That was voted in through a Measure I ballot item. Now people are horrified at what they see. There's a huge wall coming now into our community with houses that look like they're almost overhanging the wall, and people are saying, what in the world? That's why you voted for it. It was on the ballot, you voted yes. They're building in compliance with the new zone. I don't think people really understand what the impacts are of the decisions that they're making. Out of a population of about 17, I think there's like 13 maybe to 1,700 people that come out and vote on these special issues. So it isn't the majority of the community that's speaking, it's the minority, and yet we're all going to be faced with consequences. So please, council members, if you have any other information that you would like for the general plan or developments that have happened, the trends that are happening, the number of units that we still have yet to build. I was asked, or I was told by someone that they were under the impression that I was a no-growth person, which is not true. I am not a no-growth person. I am a controlled growth person. We do have pre-planned areas, and we know what's going to be built, but I think it needs to be controlled. So anyway, please submit your questions to staff, to Mr. Ballantyne, so that we can get any other information brought before us. And then staff, I request that you find a date that would be good for maybe our first of several working sessions to discuss the future of our community. Okay. Now we'll move on to council reports. And our first will be Mayor Pro Tem Howie.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. Just a few items. I did attend Senator Ayala's plaque at the park, and Eunice, you're right. It was a wonderful event. The senator has quite a history in Chino, and if you ever get a chance to read his book, Up from 2nd Street. It's a fascinating story of a local Chino boy who went all the way to the state senate, and it was great to see that plaque. And they're in a good spot too, not where you can see the color. I'm just amazed how they can do a color picture on a plaque now, and it's in a good spot where it's in the shade. So I think that's good. But that was a really nice event. On March 4th, I did attend the Chino National Little League opening, as I have for many years when I used to be a coach and a manager, and I started thinking back and looking around at all the mothers and all the kids, and I pretty much realized I probably coached some of those mothers and some of the fathers of the kids in Little League now, which kind of dated me, but it's always great to see the opening day when the kids are in their uniforms and they take their pictures and they have their first games. Everybody's all excited. The only thing that it's sad is just the numbers are so much down from when our community was so much younger, and we had so many younger families in the 70s and 80s. As our community has gotten older, we just don't see as many of those young kids. And then there's so many more things to do. You know, soccer now and all the different. There's so many different events for kids to do now. You just don't see the numbers in the Little League that you saw 20 years ago. But still a great Little League, both of them, Chino National and Chino American, do wonderful things for young kids, and I'm always happy to attend that. And then also I attended a Chino DeSalter Authority board meeting a couple weeks ago, going over some of the things that the DeSalter has to do, and that was a good meeting. And last but not least, I want to thank Jimmy Gutierrez. When I came on the council almost 16 years ago, you don't really realize how much there is to being a city council member. All the things that and I'd lived here for 15 years or so in the city, and I thought, hey, I was in the Rotary Club, I did YMCA, did a whole bunch of things. I thought I knew the city, but you don't realize how much stuff that goes along with this city and being a council member. And Jimmy really helped me a lot to understand how things are run, how things are going. He was a great mentor to me in those early days, and I really appreciate that, Jimmy. And I got to think that it's pretty unusual for somebody to have been in a job for 5 decades over 2 centuries. So not that you were here a long time, but from the 70s to the 21st century teens, you've been in Chino. So congratulations. That's quite a legacy. So thank you for that, Jimmy.
Sounds a lot
That made
longer.
him feel really young, didn't it?
Sounds a lot longer.
You look young. You look young.
Jimmy used to have black hair, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You
that's
still
true.
have it, that's
Yeah,
true.
That's
That's a good point.
All right, I think I'm done.
Tom, an interesting point is you mentioned how the National Little League has declined.
Right.
Well, because of moving populations,
Right.
now American Little League is increasing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
it is.
That's good.
Okay, Councilmember Duncan is absent today. Councilmember Elrod.
Yes, I just want to say a little bit about Mr. Ayala. My wife was chief of staff for Ruben until he retired. And Saturday, he flew in Friday night, and then he'd be here the weekend, fly out Sunday. So I could always tell who was on the phone when it rang, because Sandra would stand up. I go, what are you doing? Well, it's the senator. I said, you know, he can't see you. But she loved that man, and he was very good to her, and we miss him a lot. He has so much history and the things he did. I do want to make a comment on that picture, though. That picture's about 40 years old, because he never changed his picture. Once he took it,
I know.
that was it. So Ruben was kind of character. And then Jimmy, we go back, I think, to 1972. You were at my wedding in 75, so we go back a long, long way. The Bill McVitie days, the Michael Bedard, you, and everybody. Remember the firebombing at your office? And
Firebombing. Did you do that?
I was paid well.
Oh, my goodness. True confessions.
And the statute of limitations ran out, right, Chief? Yeah, okay. No, but we've gone back a long way, and it's been a pleasure being your friend and working with you, too, on subjects here.
Don't forget about our days in D.C.
Well, somebody's sitting in the audience. I don't know if the statute's run out on that one. Joe. Yeah, we had some good trips. I'll tell you how bad Jimmy is. He says, hey, we're going to go see Clinton tonight. It's all set up. Pocket's got it set up. Just go up, give us a name. We get the tickets, we go in. So we go up there. No tickets, no names, no nothing. So it took this Republican to bail the Democrat out to get him in. I found a scalper on the street. I said, give me 3 tickets.
Oh, my gosh.
We walked in, walked up the stairs where everybody was at, and that was the end of it, see? It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah. It's a true story.
True story. Oh, my goodness.
Had a lot of good times. And I also attended with Ruben to see Bud again. Man, he looks like his dad. Yeah. Unbelievably. And good times, good times. Then after that, I attended the sewage policy meeting at IUA and then went home. But it's a lot of memories. Yeah. I believe his insurance business was by the theater on Central, wasn't it? Across the street from Cockadoodle? Yeah, when he first started here.
He had an amazing history because he was on the school board.
Yeah.
He was Chino's first elected mayor.
Yep.
And then he went to
Board
of Supervisors, and then to Senate. So he had an amazing history. You know, one thing about that man, though, that I admired so much was, you know, he was a Democrat. But that man cared about this community. And when it came to what was best for the people, it didn't matter what party you were. It just didn't matter. It was what was best for the community. So he worked across the aisle, and he absolutely never held back when it came to sticking up for this community. When I first was elected, actually, before I was elected, Fred Aguirre, and Larry Walker were the ones that talked me into running. And I'll never forget what Ruben told me once I got elected. He said, being an elected official is what you do. It isn't who you are. And he said, never forget that. You know, it's not your life. It's the service you're providing. He is just such a wise man. Bob and I used to be able to go out to dinner with he and Irene periodically, and he loved to talk. That man loved to reminisce Oh, my goodness sakes, the stories. But yeah, he is really missed. Really missed. Wonderful man. Wonderful
I got to
example.
tell a story on him. Because he'd come into town. He says, well, let's go have breakfast or let's go have lunch or something like that. So he calls me up one Saturday morning. He says, hey, you want to meet the next president of the United States? And I said, well, yeah, I'm in for it, So we drove up to Ontario, and Clinton was flying into town, first time he ran. So Evelina's running around. It's got a deal like this, with about 20 names he's supposed to introduce and everything. And so he's standing there next to me. He says, I'm not going to, Feinstein's wanting to be introduced. Everybody, wanted to be introduced. He wadded that paper up and put it in his pocket. He walked up on stage, says, I want to introduce the next president of the United States, Bill Clinton. That was it. So he did it his way, that's for sure.
Yeah, he did everything his way.
That concludes my
Pretty cool guy.
report.
Councilman George.
Well, I can't quite reminisce like that. I've only been here for 3 meetings, so.
You should have been watching.
Gee, Gary.
But I'll get to you in a minute, Jim. On the 22nd, I attended the Planning Commission meeting. Very interesting agenda at that meeting also. The 23rd, I attended the Chino Rotary dinner. And I really am sorry that I missed the Derriere Run and the Ruben Ayala Plaque event because I had to be in Hawaii on vacation.
Yeah, right.
So, I'm sorry I missed that. But I did come back for the Planning Commission meeting on the 6th, and I'm glad I was rested up because I stood against that wall over there for 2 hours and listened to really great comments, pro and con on the at the Planning Commission meeting. So I was here, and Christy, is it just Christy? Are you still out there? And I have visited that neighborhood several times, and will continue to to visit that. So I have been out there. I wouldn't even look at this thing without going out there. With that, I would like to thank Jimmy also and congratulate him on his retirement. And because of my relationship with Jimmy for the last 20-some years, I was usually standing over there on the other side of that podium, bringing issues up here like trenching, cell towers, fiber optics, things like that. So it was really interesting working with you and the council when I tried to bring that stuff up. But I would like to say you did a great job, not only here, obviously, but on the Chaffey College Governing Board. In case you didn't know, he was also elected to the Chaffey College Governing Board. Let's see. Okay, that's congratulations. But also it was great seeing Joe Baca here tonight. Joe and I go way back. We worked together at GTE about what is that, 100 years ago, something like that? Yeah, quite a while ago. So it was great seeing you again. But again, congratulations, Jimmy. You are definitely going to be missed. That's it.
Thank you, Gary. Matt, anything from your office?
No, I think you guys covered it all.
Okay. Jimmy, before I call on you, I also, again, want to add my congratulations and my sincere appreciation for your representation on Water Master. Until I was hired by the Water Conservation District almost 12 years ago, I had no idea that water was so complicated. But it is, and we've had great representation against some pretty strong powers. Jimmy has gone out of his way to stick up for the city of Chino and our residents and businesses to ensure our water supply moving forward into the future, much to some other agencies and groups' unhappiness, to say the least. But he's going to stay with us on Water Master, thank goodness. It would be very, very hard to replace his expertise. Jimmy, do you have anything?
Well, actually, I don't have a report, so I'm going to leave this meeting without having made a report. But my wife, Mona, has a report, and I'm going to read it for you. Mona wants me to say the following. I have a new credit card. I haven't spent any money, and I want to go to the City Hall Annex, and I want to invite everybody in this room to join us for drinks, and I will pay for it. That's my wife's report.
And the City Hall Annex is?
Central Bosco.
What a surprise. Well, thank you very much for the invitation, Jimmy. Thank you, Mona. Although I don't think she knew you were going to say that because I looked at her face and her eyes got real big. So, okay, Chief. Our police chief, Karen Comstock.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Want me to make a couple comments about our Saturday of service for Stepping Up in Sir Optimus. Sir Optimus is a women's service club whose mission is to improve the lives of women and young girls through social and economic empowerment. It's also a tradition for our club to, for the first Saturday each March, to have what we call our Saturday of service. And for the past 11 years, our service club has chosen the Stepping Up program, which, as you stated best, Mayor, is designed for 6th grade girls who are transitioning into junior high school from across the district to teach them about their transition and for them to see other women in positions of professional positions, such as myself, the chief of police. We actually have Michelle Vanderlyn in there now, who's the public information officer for the Orange County DA's office, a retired attorney from the Chino courthouse, Mary Jane de la Pina, addressed the young ladies. And probably one of the favorite things of all morning long, which I don't spend a lot of time on, as you can tell, is how to fix their hair. We bring in some hairstylists to teach them how to curl their hair and do different things. I actually have wavy hair. I dry it straight, so just make it easy. But the girls are real interested in how to braid it and curl it and do other things with it. So it's a great day. As you mentioned, Mayor, about 220, 240 girls were there with their parents. And more importantly, it's a very difficult day and age to be a young person. And there's a lot of temptation out there in their electronic devices, the internet and other things, between the social media. It's just a great program. We're very, very proud to host it. It's a nice day. The Rotary is hosting a similar program on April 22nd for 6th grade boys. And it will be hosted at the community building if there are parents who are interested. So next year, if parents would like their sons or daughters to attend, either contact the Rotary Club, the Sir Optimus Club, and there's information available through the school district. So Jimmy, congratulations. It's been wonderful to work with you all these years. Enjoy your retirement. Mona, I will not be joining you at the City Hall Annex for the obvious reasons. But salute. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I do have to add an additional comment, well, it's okay, about the Stepping Up. I really sincerely wish that all 7th grade girls, and now the program with the boys, that they could all go through this, because I think it's different when you hear information as a group, because then if you're facing something, you know your friends have heard the same advice, and so you're able to turn to someone who, maybe is more sympathetic toward what they're going through and can help them. I just think it's a fabulous program, and today it's rough for kids growing up. There's so much out there.
Well, they'll have a lot of support. As you know, we have school resource officers on our high school campuses, and we have a school resource officer now that shares his time in the city of Chino between Ramona and Magnolia Junior High School, and that's all designed for their success. Yeah. Our mission in partnership with the school district is for them to, graduate from junior high, get into high school, graduate from high school, and get on to college or the trade school of their choice. Yeah, so thank you, Mayor.
Absolutely. Thank you, Karen. Chief Shackelford.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to take a brief moment tonight to remind the residents of our community to change the batteries in their smoke alarm when they change their clocks this weekend. Oh, that's right. Although we're fairly brief period into the new year, it's early March, we've actually had 555 people in the United States have lost their lives in residential fires this year so far. So please take a few moments when you change your clock, check the batteries, change them. And if you have any questions, concerns, or don't understand how to change the battery in your smoke alarm, we'll be happy to help you. Please contact the fire district. You can go to our website for more information or call our administrative headquarters, 909-902-5280. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yep, spring forward. That's right. Sunday, oh my goodness sakes. Oh, boy. Okay, with that, we're going to adjourn this meeting to our next regular meeting, which will be held on Tuesday, March 21st at 7 o'clock, closed session at 6 o'clock if necessary. And again, a reminder, the first meeting in April will not be held in the council chambers. It will be held possibly at the senior center, but that will be confirmed, and you'll be updated on March 21st. With that, we are adjourned.